Okay, let me start by telling my story so that you can kind of follow through on my thoughts. I came to Germany in 2006. First started my studies in a town called Aachen, and in Aachen I did my pre-university. I did my pre-university there for a period of about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And after my pre-university course, I decided to change colleges, because at Aachen I was studying at a university called RWTH, which is the Rheinisch-Westfälische Technische Hochschule, and it's actually one of the leading universities in Germany right now. But at the time they had just introduced tuition, about 500 euros a semester, and that was too much for me. So I thought, hey, studying at such a high-class institution and I still have to pay tuition, and that would mean having to work a little more, which did not make that much sense. At such an institution you have to really concentrate on your studies. So I thought I'd move. So I moved to town. I went to Darmstadt, which is where I am right now. Darmstadt is in Hessen. Now, the state of Hessen, at the time, that was about 2008, the state of Hessen had done away with tuition fees. They did away with tuition fees, and that actually pulled a lot of students to Hessen, because the tuition fees really put a strain on the student's budget. So what happened was I moved over to Darmstadt and immatriculated, but immediately after immatriculation I flew to Kenya for some private reasons. And going to Kenya, I spent a period of about 18 months. Now, I was an immatriculated student, spent 18 months in Kenya. Those are about 3 semesters, out of college. So that really complicated a lot of things for me, because I remember being in Kenya at that time, and there was a lot going on in my life right at that point. My family, there was a lot going on at that time. So my most important, or rather the thing that most important to me at that point was getting back to Germany and completing my education. So my thoughts were fixed on coming back. I knew I would come back and complete my education, but I was determined to improve that experience. I was determined to make the best out of my college experience. So I came back to Darmstadt and took up my studies again. So being in Darmstadt, I was alone. I knew no one. I think I knew one other Kenyan, a guy who I went to high school with. It's called Frank Oduor, and he had been there for a while. He had studied there for about 3 or 4 semesters, and apart from him I knew no other person. So what happened was, he was living in Frankfurt at the time and I was living in Darmstadt. So I had to find my way around. I had to find other students, and as an international student, the first people you go to are other international students. I met one Kenyan, and that was in the bus, and this Kenyan was apparently pursuing his pre-university course, and he told me that there are actually other Kenyans in Darmstadt, which was a good thing, which was really positive. And this guy actually introduced me to the other Kenyans. So there were a group of about 4 or 5 guys. We talked, we hung out, and what happened was, my idea was still in my head, because I still wanted to form like an organization where Kenyan students would meet and share this information. Because coming from where I was coming from, I wanted to improve that experience, and the only way you can do that is to share information. The only way you can do that is to exchange ideas with like-minded students. You know, Kenyan students would be the best because we have more or less the same background. So I talked to the first guy about this, and he was positive. And after that, the word was, you know, the word got around. People talked to other people, and I managed to convince them to sit down for a first meeting. So we had a first meeting, and that happened in December of 2010 at a friend's house. It was actually in someone's house over Christmas, and we formed.